think, yeah, it has started recording. In the meantime, let me share my screen. Yeah, I think you can see my screen, right? It's recording. Okay, fine. Yeah, so I am Dibhuran Bandyopadhyay. I'm currently a student, PhD student at IIT Patna. So uh, this is today's topic actually. So we'll learn more about operator precedence and ranking and those things, how to apply them in C. So yeah, so let us start with the first problem. So this is the first problem, and you have defined this x as a variable, and this is what you are printing. So my question is, what will get printed in the terminal? So can anybody answer? Can you see my screen? Okay. What is 520? Okay, how many people are writing 20? Okay, people are saying 20. Okay, so this is a very simple question. So when you declare a variable like that, so what happens is that you have to evaluate the expression. So to evaluate the expression, you have to do it from uh, uh, by qualifying the operators whatever is present in the question, and and you have to see whether you have to evaluate from left to right and in which order. So these are the two things that you have to remember. So we all know that star, the multiplication, has a higher precedence than addition, and this will be evaluated from left to right. But so there is two possibilities here. You can just evaluate 10 plus 5 and then multiply it with 2. So that will give you what? 30, right? So you evaluate 10 plus 5, right? And then add it, multiply it with 2. That will give you 15 into 2 equal to 30. But here you have to see the precedence. So as multiplication has higher precedence than the addition, 5 into 2 will be evaluated first. That will give you 10. Then that evaluated 10 will be added to that 10. Then it will be assigned to the variable x, which is basically now 20, because 10 plus 10 is equal to 20. Then you are printing that x to the terminal. So the value will be 20. Okay. So the important concept here is to see in which way the operators will get evaluated from left to right and in which order. So multiplication has higher precedence than addition. So the multiplication will be evaluated at first. Okay. So this is the second question. Try to see it carefully and then we'll discuss. X plus 4 greater than y. So this is the expression, and what is the value of this expression? Okay. Okay, people are saying true. So this is also very simple actually. So you have to see what are the operators here. So there are two operators. One is an arithmetic operator, which is plus, and one is a relational operator. So in every question, you have to see what are the kind of operators that are there. So in here, you can see that there are two operators. One is arithmetic operator, arithmetic, and one is basically relational operator. So always you remember that arithmetic operators have more precedence than the relational operators. So here the arithmetic operator is basically your plus, and this is the relational operator which is greater than. So as arithmetic operator has a higher precedence than the relational operator, whatever is there in the arithmetic operation will be evaluated first. So the value of x is 5 as assigned, and you are adding 4 to it. So now the left hand expression, the arithmetic expression, evaluates to 9. 5 plus 4 equal to 9, and y is equal to 8. So 9 greater than 8, that will be evaluated later. So is 9 greater than 8? Yes, it is greater than 8. So the whole expression will evaluate to true, right? And true is a Boolean variable. So as we are printing it in an integer variable, that will be converted to 1. So true means 1. So it will print 1. Yeah. So this is how it works actually. So any confusion until this point? How it happened? Okay, if there are no confusion, I can proceed, I think. Okay. Yeah, so this is question number 3. So this is a difficult question in the sense that you have to evaluate multiple expressions. So yeah, see that carefully and try to solve it. Then we'll discuss the solution. Apply that concept actually. The hint is that arithmetic expression will be evaluated first before the relational expression. And you all know what ternary operator is. So I'll explain it later, but try to solve it first. People are saying 4. Okay. Okay. You're saying 4. Yeah, so let me clarify how it is happening. So yeah, so if you see this question very carefully, then uh, second. Okay, so I already told that arithmetic expression will be evaluated first, and then the relational expression will be evaluated. Okay. So if you see this int b equal to this part very carefully, let me write it first. So int b is equal to 4 into 6 plus 3 into 4. Then it is basically h into 5 and 4, 3. Okay, so this is the line actually, and just replace the value of h with the assigned value to h, which is 8. Okay, so just do that here. Now carefully see what are the expression here. So in the right hand side, if you see carefully, there are 3 expressions. There are 3 operators, I mean. Okay, so this is one operator, star. This is another operator. This is another operator, and this is another operator. So always remember that to evaluate a ternary expression, you have to evaluate the left hand side first, and then you have to choose either this or this. So how a ternary operator actually works? it actually evaluates the left hand side of the ternary expression. So this is the left hand side of the ternary operator, and if it evaluates to true, the immediate right hand value will be printed. If it evaluates to false, this value will be printed. Okay, so then the main goal is to evaluate the left hand side of the ternary expression. So to evaluate the left hand side, you have to see what are the operators that are there in the left hand side. So if you see carefully, there are two operators in the left hand side. One is star, which is for multiplication, and one is plus, which is for addition. But you all know that multiplication has a higher precedence than the addition. So how does it work? Basically, you multiply these two numbers first, okay? And it goes in a left to right manner. So you multiply this first and this second, and then you add it. So what does it mean? 24 plus 12, right? So it is basically 38. And this is 8 into 5, which is 40. So this is how the left hand side will be evaluated. You just go from left to right, you scan the operators. If it has higher precedence, then you basically do it earlier. So 8 into 5 has higher precedence than the relation operator because arithmetic operators have higher precedence. So evaluate it. So 40. 38 lesser than 40. Is it true? Yes, it is true. So the left hand side of the ternary operator is basically true. So if if this is true, then what will get printed? 4 will get printed. If this could have been false, then 3 would have been printed. So because this is true, 4 will get printed. Okay, so the value of this part, printf statement, will be 4. So this is how it works actually. So any questions up to that part, how it got evaluated or not? Any idea? Any questions? Somebody is typing. Is not that 24? No, no, it is 4. You see carefully, only two options are there, 4 and 3. So yeah. So why you think it is 24? Can you I'm saying about that value which is being compared with h into 5. Okay, let me check it again. Okay, no, no, no. It is, how can it be 24, right? Because 4 into 6 is 24, plus you are evaluating 4 into 3. So the whole thing will be basically 24 plus 12, which is 38. And then you compare it with h into 5, which is 8 into 5 equal to 40. 24, yeah, yeah, 36. Okay, yeah. Anyway, it is lesser than 40. Yeah, 36. Okay, I don't know why I told 38. So yeah. So yeah, yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah. So yeah, so this is question number 4, and this is the question actually. So just a second. Yeah. So there are three variables that you are declaring, a, b, and x, and you are assigning sorry, four variables actually, assigning the value of x as 5, y as 8, and these are the two operations that you are performing. Carefully see the operations and then tell me what will be the answer. Take your time and then we'll discuss. Yeah, so people are saying C, B, B. Okay. Three people have said B, one is C. So if you need any extra time, I'll give another 1 minute. So try to think and then we'll discuss. Okay, people are saying B, so let me see what is the actual answer. Okay. So okay, so yeah, so the value of A, B you have to determine, but X is, as we know, it is 5 and Y is 8. Okay. So this is the expression actually. A equal to plus X into Y. So how will the expression be evaluated? Let's see first. So this is the pre-increment operator and this is start, the multiplication operator. So before the operation actually takes place, uh, before the evaluation takes place, pre-increment operators always increments the value of X. Okay. So what will be the value of X before the whole operation takes place? It will be basically increment to 5 plus 1 equal to 6. So plus X will be evaluated first. So this is the highest priority. Okay, so if this evaluates first, then the value of X will be now 6. After that, Y will be added here. After this operation is done, till this moment, X is 6, Y is, let's keep track of X and Y at every step, okay? So this is the first step. And after that, A will be evaluated to 6 into 8, which is basically 48. Okay, so A is now 48 and X is still 6 and Y is 8. So this is how the first line will get evaluated in 2 steps, okay? So this line I'm saying, okay? So after that, there is another line, which is basically this line, this one, B equal to X into Y plus plus, okay? So how would the line be evaluated? First, basically, let's see what happens actually. If the question is like that, you have to basically do the evaluation first. So X into Y have to do. After that, you have to increment the value of Y. Why? Because it is a post increment operator, correct? So you do the operation what is there first, and then you basically increment the value of Y. So what is the value of X you got here in the previous step? 6. So 6, you basically place it here into what is the value of Y you got? 8. We are not writing 9, right? Because we will increment the value of Y after the operation is being performed. Okay. So X is 6, Y is 8 after the operation. So after that, this will be multiplied and the value of B will be 6 into 8, 48. Okay. And then after that, Y's value will be incremented. So X equal to 6 now and Y equal to Y plus plus, right? Which is basically 9 because the previous value was 8. Okay. So A is 48, B is 48, and the Y value of Y is 9. So 48, 48, 9. So this is the correct answer actually. So B. Okay. So people are saying B. Okay. That's good. Only one people said C. If he or she has some doubt, just ask me, I'll clarify. Okay. And if you have any doubt, ask me directly in this question. So this is very important to know how the pre and post increment operator actually works. Any question regarding that? Okay. Okay. So okay. So B, this is the you understood up to this point, I think. So A is 48 and X is 6, Y is 8. Okay. So what happens if you see B? So B is basically X into Y plus plus. So whenever you see any pre-increment operator or post-increment operator, you just forget about whatever is there in the increment operator. So plus plus minus minus, you forget about it. And then you perform based on the increment operator actually. So if you see plus plus, it is a post increment operator. So you can basically do the operation here. So what is the operation? X into Y, right? You have to do the operation first, then you have to increment Y, correct? Because plus plus is after Y. Okay. So you have to do the operation first. What is the operation? X into Y. So you do the operation first, 6 into 8. You just assign the value of that to B, and then you increment the value of Y to Y plus plus, which is basically 8 plus 1 equal to 9. So yeah, so that's it. Any confusion now? Okay. So another question for you, if like this, let's say, just a second. Let's suppose this is the question now actually. So X minus minus, and this is, let's suppose, minus minus Y. So now we have to just see what is happening. Okay. So yeah, now you have to answer. Carefully see. So X minus minus Y, and this is basically your X into this one. Yeah, take your time and then answer. A32, B28, Y7. How many registers are used in this program? How are the registers assigned? I mean, how the CPU will decide? A20, I'll answer it later, okay? How the CPU will decide. A40, B28, Y7. Okay. Okay, so let's do the operation one by one. So this is post increment operator. So what will happen? You don't increment the decrement operator. You don't decrement the value of X directly. So you do the operation first, then you decrement. So what is the value of X? Is 5 and Y is 8. So A will be also 5 into 8. It will be 40, right? And the value of X will be decremented after the thing. So X is now 4 and Y is now 8. Okay. So after that, this operation is done. So this is a pre-increment operation, decrement operation. So you are decrementing the value of Y by 1. So what is the value of 1 after this operation? Before the operation, it is basically decremented to 7, right? So you just do 5, sorry, 4. The value of X is now 4, right? So you just do 4 into, uh, you basically decrement it first. So it will be 7. So Y is basically, X is 4 and Y is 7 after the operation. Okay. So it is basically 28. So B is 28. Okay. So A, the value of A is 40, this is 28, and Y is 7. 40, 28, 7. 40, 28, 7. Okay. So yeah, there is somebody who said 40, 32, 7. It is wrong. It's 40, 28, 7. So any confusion regarding this question? How these operators work? Okay, if there is no confusion, then so somebody asked the how the CPU will decide. What is that? What's the role of registers here? Okay. So okay, so what happens is that whenever these operations are done, so you just assign the value to a register, right? So you do it like that. So let's suppose this is the X, and in some register the value of X is assigned 5 basically. So you the value of X that is being pointed by a register, let's say the value is uh, the variable is X. Okay. So in some register, you place the value 5 here. And then whenever you do the increment or decrement operation, what happens is that in the background, it sees the precedence actually. So what it does is that it uses a stack and it keeps on filling the stack actually. Based on the operator precedent, it fills on the stack. And it pops from the stack and basically it performs the operation from left to right manner. So there is something called operation precedence stack. Uh, uh, I think expression evaluation. So if you want that, I can show it how the whole thing is done in the processor itself. So basically, you see the value minus minus. So you basically, so, I mean, push it in the stack. Okay. After getting the value 5, let's say. So yeah, let's do it like that. So 5 minus minus into what is the value? 8. So let's say this is the evaluation, sorry, expression that you need to evaluate. So how it is done? You just push the value to a stack 5. Okay. Then after that, you push the value minus. Then whenever you encounter a value which has, this is minus minus actually, which has more precedence, let's say, you just pop the value minus minus basically and do the operation. So it will be 4. Okay. 5 minus minus will be 4, and then you basically see that 8 is encountered here in the right hand side. So you multiply 4 and 8, this gives you 32. So like that you basically perform the operation. So because it is a post increment operator, this has lower precedence than the multiplication, right? So it will not pop up, and the value will be basically 5 into 8 instead of 4 into 8. But suppose this is the part, and then the value of 5 will be encountered. It will be decremented first based on the operator precedence. Because when you encounter 8, sorry, star in the stack, then you basically do the operation and pop the value. So now 4 is in the stack, and then you multiply it with 8. So this is how it performed in general actually. And the role of register is to store the intermediate values at every step. Okay. So yeah, this is the overall idea. Yeah, CPU doesn't have to know the x minus minus or plus plus x. Okay. So it actually sees the value, it parses the thing actually. There is a thing called parser. So based on the parser, it actually parses the value and it actually makes a tree. And based on the tree, it evaluates the tree from left to right. So there is a thing called pre-order traversal. It does the pre-order traversal of the tree, and then it actually pushes the value in the stack. And based on the value in the stack, it actually pops the things and does the operation one by one. Okay. So the CPU doesn't have to know anything. It is following an algorithm. No, it does not have to be binary tree. It can be any kind of tree. Okay. So there can be multiple childs also, children. So binary tree means that at every node you have to have two children. Okay. So this is the fifth question. So try it once. There is a basic problem in this question. So can you identify the problem actually? Modulo can't have the float only for the integers. Okay. Other people. Yeah, correct. So if you see the thing carefully, cannot do the modulo between the floating point numbers and then percentage two. And if let's suppose that it is instead of float, it is integer I, and then it is minus 3. And then you are assigning int k equal to I modulo 2. Then what would have been the case actually? Can anybody answer that? So only for integers it is allowed, I know, but what if it is negative integer? Will it be allowed? So integer I equal to minus 3, let's say. Then int k equal to whatever is there in the string. Yeah, let's go to the next question. Please see this actually, if it gets compiled or not. Okay. I don't think it will compile actually, because negative number and modulo, if you are doing modulo on top of negative number, then yeah, it should not compile. But try to see it once. Okay. So this is question number 6. So yeah, so see the if expression carefully and see what will get printed actually. Yes, so what do you think will be the output? Okay, so if so you see the expression inside the if, and if it is true, then it will print IIT or it will just jump to else if it is not true. Okay, so if 3 greater than 5 or 2 not equal to 3, so do you think 3 greater than 5? No, it is not true. So the left hand side equals false. So false or 2 not equal to 3. It is true. So false or true equal to true, right? Then the whole expression evaluates to true. So if true, then print IIT. That's it. So IIT gets printed here actually. Yeah. Yeah, I think it is a very easy question actually. Okay, so if there is no doubt, then I'll proceed. Otherwise, I'll explain this again. So is there any doubt, anybody? How many logic gates are used here? It depends actually. So for this operation, how many operations are performed? Okay. So for evaluating the expression, so the minimum number of logic gates used can be measured by uh, finding what are the minimal operations performed. Okay. So if you see carefully, there is one relational operator. So this just compares the values. So all the integers can be represented by, let's say, 16-bit or 32-bit numbers. So it does the relational comparison with one bits actually. So for them, at least 32 logic gates will be required for this operation, let's say. Then there is another OR operation. So another one logic gate. So it can be done using the same logic gate also, because we are doing it serially. So after that, there is this operation, this they are equal or not. So again 32. So I think at minimum 32 logic gates will be required. So number of bits used to represent one integer. So I can be wrong, but this is my guess. But I don't understand how is the question relevant here actually. Correct. So operator precedence, these things are basically baked into the compiler itself. Okay. Yeah, it is 32, right? The string IIT KGP is first converted into ASCII and then converted into binary format. Yes, yes, correct. No, IIT KGP, yeah. So you have to evaluate the expression first. That doesn't mean that IIT KGP has to be converted into ASCII and then binary format. So the expression that is there in the if statement, that has to be evaluated first. Okay. So this is the output that you are getting printed. That is getting printed in the printf statement. Okay. Okay. So this is question number 7. So see it carefully, then try to answer. Then we'll explain again. So the today's discussion is all about operator precedence and the associativity of the operators. Okay. False. Okay. Good. Why it is false? Can anybody explain? Why not true? It seems like it is true actually. You guys can also write in the chat box if you want. You don't want to speak. Okay, so let me clarify actually. So, uh, just a second. Okay, so what is the if statement here? It is if and then x plus plus. Okay. So what is the value of x? That is basically 0. So you know that whenever these kind of things are there, you just evaluate the expression using the original value of x, then you increment it because it is a post increment operator. So you evaluate the value of the expression, which is basically x, and then you increment the value. Okay. So what is the value of x? 0. So x will be if 0 actually. So if 0 means if false. 0 means false. Okay. So if it is false, it will not print true because the printf true statement is associated with the if statement. It will go to the else if statement. But before executing the else if statement, that post increment operator will take place. Operation will take place. So the x's value will now be incremented to 1. Okay. X will be now basically x plus plus, which is basically equal to 1. And true here is not printed. True is not printed. So now x equal to 1. Then what is the else if statement? You go to the else if statement, you see, check the value of x. You see that it is already equal to 1. So 1 equal to 1 means what? 1, right? This is a true statement. So else if equal to is satisfied. So now false is getting printed in the terminal. Okay. So how this is worked actually. So yeah, any confusion or should I explain again? Yeah, sure, sure. Let me explain again. Since it is a post decrement, so value is increased from 0 to 1 in the first step. So the current value 1, hence false. Okay, okay. Yeah, correct. So yeah, so let me clarify again. So the value of x in the first step is basically 0, correct? And then there is another statement which is basically if x plus plus. So what does it do? It basically sees the value and it sees that x is basically written like that. There is a post increment operator. So it directly does not increment the value of x. So it just evaluates this like this. So if x, so what is the value of x? 0. So you just replace x with 0. 0 means what? False. So if false. So if false is there, then the whatever is inside the if statement will be jumped actually. Will not be printed or done. So it will go to the next step, which is basically else if. But before moving to the else if, whenever the printf operation is done, or whenever the if operation is evaluated using x equal to 0, the x's value will be incremented parallelly to 1. Okay. Then whenever it goes to else if statement, it compares the value of x with 1. But we already know that it has been incremented to the value of 1. So basically this operation is performed inside else if 1 equal to 1. So we know that this is actually true, 1 is equal to 1. So inside else if, what happens is this true, because 1 equal to 1. Okay. Then it as it is true, whatever is inside the else if statement will get printed. So inside else if statement, there is a printf statement called false. So ultimately the false value will be printed to the terminal like this. Okay. So yeah. Now do you understand? Okay. Okay, good. Any other doubt? Okay. Okay. So let me move to the question number 8. So yeah, so this is question number 8. See, whatever. What do you think? Yeah, so any idea? A. Option B, 1. Somebody is saying A. Other people, please see and answer. Okay. So people are saying A. So there is a hint. The hint is that this expression uh, equal to and not equal to, they have equal precedence because and they are evaluated from left to right. So apply the hint and then uh, do the analysis again and see. So there are two things to remember. Always try see whenever this kind of nested operator questions are coming. See the what are the operators are there and what is the precedence of them, and how they are evaluated from right to left or from left to right. And based on that, answer the question actually. But for that, you have to remember lots of things actually. I mean, there is a host of operators in C, and there is a precedence rules actually that you have to memorize. Even I tend to forget it from time to time, so you have to keep in touch actually. Yeah, people are saying one. Okay. Okay, let's see then what's happening. So 10 equal to 20 and left to right. What it means actually? It means that x equal to 10 equal to 20. This will be evaluated first because it is from left to right and those have equal precedence. Okay. And then 30. So what is the value actually of this part? This is 10 equal to 20. It is not. So it is basically 0, right? Because 10 equal to 20, it is false basically. And there that will give you false means basically 0 in C. So 0 not equal to 30. It is true, right? So it will be true. True means 1. So x equal to 1. So B is the final answer. So it is very simple actually if you see carefully. So yeah. So anybody has any doubt? 1. Okay. 1. Okay. The evaluation is already defined by the compiler. Is it defined in the runtime of the program or already predefined when you are writing the program? Evaluation means what? This thing you are talking about is operator precedence. It is done in the runtime. Okay, there is a precedence table actually that is maintained inside the compiler, and based on the precedence table, it actually uh, traverses the tree as I told, and it actually inserts the values in a stack and pops the values and does the overall expression evaluation in the runtime stage itself. Okay. But there is a I mean the precedence table, from the precedence table, that is basically stored inside the compiler program. And from the precedence table, it sees the overall tree that has been parsed. And from that parsed tree, it actually pushes the values in a stack. And from the stack is pops the values and actually, I mean, does the evaluation from left to right. Okay. And then it assigns the value to the integer variable. That is how it is done inside the computer. Okay. User, do you understand? Okay. Yeah. So let's move to the next program. This is question number 9 actually. And so there is an integer that you are declaring and y plus y equal to 10. So this is the, try to see it. Let me zoom it first actually. And there is same precedence rule that you have to apply here. Okay. 11, 11, 11, B, B, B. Okay, B means 11. Okay. So people are saying 11. Okay. So there is the equal to sign and this is plus sign actually. So you just do it from left to right. So 10 plus 10 equal to 10. Okay. And 10 equal to 10 is what? It is 1. So 10 plus 1 equal to 11. It is that simple actually. Now let's actually make it more difficult. So let's suppose that instead of this simple thing, it is int z and y plus equal to y plus plus equal to 10. Then what would have been printed? Right. This is more difficult question. Will it give compiler error? What do you think? Error. Okay, lots of people are saying different things. Uh, 10, 11, 12, 11, error. Okay. You know what will happen? It will be an error actually. The reason is that you are incrementing the value, basically not an error, it will print some random value actually. The behavior will be undefined and based on the compiler, it will vary. The reason is that you are doing, changing the value of y inside one line multiple times actually. So let's see this operation first. Y plus plus equal to 10. So firstly, the compiler will see y plus plus. It will associate. It will not directly increment the value of y, as it is a post increment operator. It will try to compare the value of y and 10, and suddenly it will evaluate to true because y is equal to 10, right? Then after doing that, you are basically trying to increment the value of y. And if you try to increment the value of y is 10. Sorry, y is 11. Okay. But what will be the value of this y actually that you will basically add with? Will it be 10 or 11? If it is 10, then you have to store the value of y somewhere else, the previous value of y. Then you have to add this value actually, correct? Or so there is two possibilities. One possibility is that if it is caching the previous value of y, which is equal to 10, then the current value of z will be 11. If it is incrementing the value after doing this operation, so y plus plus basically, so it evaluates to 1, right? Because y is equal to 10 in the first place. After that, let's think that y is basically incremented to 11. Then 11 plus 1 will be 12. So there are two possibilities. One is 11, there is one is 12. But most of the compiler will print 11 because it is not caching the newer value of y. Okay, but you cannot guarantee what the compiler will print. So yeah, it's warning dependent on compilers. Okay, right, correct. Error maybe 2 plus plus. Yeah, 11 or 12. There are two possibilities, but mostly it will print 11. What if we keep integer equal to 10 equal to 10 and do all the next steps? I don't understand actually. 10 equal to 10 equal to 10 means it will be 1, right? 10 equal to 10 will be true. It will be integer equal to 1. I don't understand. Can you clarify once? Yeah, 11 or 12, correct. But I think this newer compiler like CLang and those compilers will basically give you an uh, uh, warning. Actually, I think as far as I remember, I think it will give you an warning. Okay. So yeah, so while you are writing, let me proceed. Okay, I think the variable is equal to 1 if you do. Yes, yes, correct. Int equal to a equal to 10 equal to 10 will be yeah, it will be 1. Okay. Yeah. So let me proceed. Yeah, so this is another question. What is the output? Int s equal to 20. If s equal to 19, print right, else print wrong. So how do you think will be the output actually? This is an important question actually, because if you see carefully inside the if statement, it is not s equal to 19. It is s equal to 19. Only one equal to sign is present. So based on that, do the yeah, solve it. Yeah, take another 1 minute, then we'll discuss. Right, right, right. B. No output. Okay, so if s equal to 19, okay. So what does it mean actually? It means that the value of s is equal to 20, then this expression you are doing actually. So if you see carefully, this is an assignment expression actually. Okay. So s you are assigning to 19. So this is an assignment expression, and the value of any assignment expression is the assignment itself. Okay, so remember that always. So for the value, this assignment expression, if you print it like that, let's say you just print it like that. So printf percentage d, and then let's say s equal to 19. Okay, so what will be the value? It will be basically 19 only, because the assignment expression is happening here, and you are assigning the value of 19 to s. So what is the value of the whole expression? It is 19, because always remember the value of any assignment expression is the value that is being assigned to a particular variable. Okay, so this is 19 now. So 19 will get printed. So what is the expression then evaluates to inside the if statement? This is also s equal to 19. So you are assigning the value 19 to s. So the overall expression evaluates to 19 also. Okay. So it is 19. It is a non-zero value. Correct. So there is a hint here. So if anybody understands, so an assignment expression itself has the value that was assigned. Second is 0 equal to false, non-zero equal to true. So if 19, so it is non-zero, which means it is true, right? If it is true, then whatever is inside the if statement will get printed, which is right. Basically, it will be A. Okay, right. So any confusion? Right, right. Okay, everybody is saying right. Can we use if statement for assignment also? Yeah, we can use, correct. So inside the if statement, you can do assignment, okay? It doesn't prohibit anything like that. So another user asked actually if a is equal to 19, equal to a is equal to 20, okay? So let me just copy it from here, then let me explain. Here, right? So he is saying that if this is the thing, then what will happen? So yeah, so if you see carefully what is the precedence here, you have to evaluate it first and then evaluate it. So right, or evaluate it first and evaluate it. Obviously it will be first here because it is left to right. Then what is s equal to 19? It is basically 19, right? And what is s equal to 20? It is true. Uh, Sorry, is it true? Yeah, it is true. So 19 equal to 1. Is it true or not? It is not true. So it is false. Then the printf statement will not get printed. The wrong will get printed. Okay. So if this is the kind of thing that is given inside the if statement, printf will be wrong. Okay. It's problematic. Uh, where am I currently? I forgot everything. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Here. Do you understand? Okay. Okay. So this is question number 11. What is the correct syntax for an if else statement in C? There are four options. So C. C. If condition statement one is statement two. Okay. Yeah, this is a very simple question actually. So I think everybody knows it by now. So these are very simple questions actually because these kind of questions are there in the previous year. So yeah, so I'm just repeating them in case you need them later. So which of the following is true for nested if else statement? Are they allowed in seed? What do you think actually? Yes, they are allowed. People are saying C. Correct, correct, correct. Yeah. So, and what about this nested if else statement are only allowed up to two levels tip? Is it true or it can be multiple level? Somebody has a question actually. So we used equal to means comparison operator, but how to use logical operator instead of equal to operator? Logical operator, for logical operator you have to use and or actually. So it will do bitwise operation. Okay. So I'll show it later in this. There can be multiple times. Yes, correct, correct. So there can be a multiple if else statement also. Yeah, so this is question number 13. Now some good questions again. Yeah, try it. This is very simple actually. So who already answered the previous questions can also answer it, right? Three, 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 three. Okay, everybody is saying three. Yeah, I don't think it will be three because again there are two things that is happening here, right? So you are just assigning the value of I to I. That is fine. Always already I is equal to 1, but again you are doing the increment. So you are trying to change the value of I in a single operation twice. So currently the value of I is 2. So if you do this kind of things, it is either 3 or if it is 2, or the compiler will throw basically an warning, correct? So yeah, so you understood the reason, I think, because I showed you in some other program also. So what happens is that if you are trying to modify the value of a variable twice in the same line on the same operation step, then it will behave abruptly actually. Either it will increment or it will not, and it will depend on the compiler. Okay. So again, this kind of question. So is it clear? Okay. But if we do I equal to I plus 1, we can get the output. Yeah, yeah. If you do it, you will get the output. Yes, correct. Because it is the operation is very simple actually. You increment the value, then we assign the value to I. It is in two steps. But here the operation in the precedence table, if it is not properly defined, then the compiler will not get to know when to do which operation in which ways actually. So that is the reason you can either get 2 or can get 3 based on how the operation is performed. It can be 3 also. Yeah, yeah, it can be 3 also. Correct. It is either 2 or 3 based on the precedence table inside the compiler. It actually decides so how to print the value. Yeah. But if it is I equal to I plus 1, then it is certainly 3, because you just perform the operation I plus 1 on the left hand side first, then you basically assign the new value of I, which is equal to 3, to the right left hand side. Then the value of I gets updated to 3. That's how it is done. And yeah, so any confusion regarding this? It can be 3 also. Yeah, correct. Yeah, so this is question number 14 now. So what do you think will be the output? This is switch case question. Does switch case work with floating point numbers? What do you think? Switch case cannot be float actually. So switch case cannot be float. Okay. So it has to be integer value. So it will throw and compile error. Yeah. Just remember this. That is why I presented it in this way. Typecasting it will run. Yes, correct. Correct, correct. It will run. Correct, correct. Yes. If you do typecasting, it will run. Integer corrected only. Yes, correct. Floating point number, it doesn't support. And this is the next question. So I think it is again very simple. So based on the previous things, you'll be able to answer it, I think. False, false, false. Yeah, yeah, it is false. So why it is false? So if you see the if statement carefully again, a equal to 0. So a equal to 0 means the it just does the assignment statement. So whatever value a has in the beginning, it doesn't matter. See inside the if statement, this is an assignment operation. So whatever value is being assigned currently to the variable, that is the value of the expression itself. So a equal to 10, the value of this expression is basically the value is that is being assigned to a, which is equal to 0. So if 0, basically that evaluates to. But if 0 means if false. So if false, then it goes to the else statement and it prints false. So this is how the program actually works. Okay, correct. We have already have equal to 0, but again, why we have if equal to 0? I think there is no meaning here. Yeah, the thing is not to derive any meaning actually. It is to understand how the if else statement actually works and how the assignment operation actually evaluates to. Yeah, to understand what the meaning of the operation itself, we have to do this actually. Yeah. So, any other queries? So this is another question actually. So flowchart, I assume that you attended the previous lecture also. In that tutorial, there is this kind of flowchart that was available. So I think of recapping some of them. So yeah, try to solve it once and then we'll discuss. One, one, five. Okay. So what is happening? Read n. You just read the value of n, which is equal to 5. You just assign two variables, so I equal to 1, x equal to 1. And then you see whether I is equal to n or not. Is I equal to n? No, it is not. So it goes to the directly here and prints the value of x, which is equal to 1. So yeah, it is very simple thing actually. So any problem in understanding that? This is just to recap. This is just for recapping. Okay. Okay. So this is question number 17. Another question. So the answer is compiler error. So what is the reason for that? Any idea?
Y is not declared.
Correct. Was not declared. Yeah. So moving to question number 18. So this is another question from the previous things. So an integer needs 2 bytes of storage. What is the minimum value of the signed integer in C? So understand how signed integers are declared in C in 2's complement form. So if you remember 2's complement, you'll get to understand what is the storage value of value basically range. Okay. 51, 51. Okay. No, it is not 51 actually. It is compiler error. Use question. D the left side value. In switch case, if we keep switch if a equal to 10, then what happens? I think it will be you have to have a nested statement, okay? So I think it will be like evaluated to I don't know if a equal to 10. It should evaluate to true, right? If a equal to 10, then it should evaluate to true. You have to try it once. I have to try. I don't know what will happen. Yeah. Correct, correct. It should evaluate to true. Yeah. I mean the whole statement, if a equal to 10 and if the value of a equal to a is really 10, right? So a equal to 10 will be 10. Then if 10 means if true, then the whole value should also evaluate to true, I think. Minus 32,768. How do you get it? 2 to the power 15. So yeah, so let me clarify it first, then we'll discuss about the that part actually. So sorry for moving from this to another question. So what happens is that if integer needs 2 bytes of storage, so 2 bytes of storage means actually how much? It is 16 bit, right? So as 1 byte is 8 bit, 2 byte is 16 bit. So out of the 16 bit, 15 bits are normal bits and 1 bit is signed bit. Okay, in signed integer calculation. So we have 15 bits to understand the digit. So it will be moving from minus 2 to the power 15 to 2 to the power 15. But you have to wrap around one value because you cannot, I mean, represent the whole values. Basically, let's understand this. It begins from 0, right? So you cannot represent like that. So you have to wrap around one value. So it will be ranging from this to this. So I think minimum value would be this actually. Or if it is beginning from, yeah, it will be this. Correct. So no, so any problem in understanding this? Yeah, so another thing is somebody asked that what if in the switch case question, so let me go to the switch case question. What if it is like that? So switch, and then instead of num, it is he's saying that if a equal to something 20, let's say, and a is declared as 20 later, sorry, earlier, int a equal to 20, let's say. Okay? And this is what you are evaluating. What will be the statement evaluating to here? This is his question. So my hunch is that a equal to 20 means it will be basically true, right? Because a equal to 20. sorry, not true, the assignment value itself. So it is 20. 20 means non-zero value. So if true, the whole thing was also evaluated to true means 1. So it will be switch 1. So this is my guess. What do you think? If anybody knows, then they can answer. Otherwise, this is my guess only. Okay, I'm right. If the sizes of the data types are already defined, if they are defined, then why in some compiler we have in 2 bytes or 4 bytes is the size of the compiler is dependent on the size of the OS? Yeah, it is true. Actually, it is dependent on the compiler actually. So there is no fixed size of integers, and it has something to do with OS. So previously, yeah, OS used to have 4 bytes of integer, I think, from the beginning also. But it depends on the OS actually. Previously, it was varying. There is no fixed standard in C. Okay, so you can also build one compiler yourself. So as long as you are, I mean, understanding the ISO compliance, whatever is written in the books, then you are good to go. Anybody can build any compiler. There is no standards like that. Okay. Okay, somebody is typing. Let me see. Why you subtracted 1 from 2 to the power 15? Okay, that's a good question. So the reason is that let's suppose that you have this thing. So let's suppose this is a toy problem, and in the toy problem, let's suppose you have 4 bits of integer representation, and in the 4 bit of integer representation, it begins with 2 to the power 0 in the first step. Okay, and this is 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2, and this is 2 to the power 3. And what is the highest value possible here? You just place 1, 1, 1, 1 everywhere. Okay, and then what is that actually? It evaluates to 15. 2 to the power 0 means what? This is 1, this is 2, this is 4, this is 8. So 8 plus 4, 12, 14 plus 15. So if you see carefully, if you have this 4 digits, then the value, the highest value you get is not 2 to the power 4 16. It is 2 to the power 4 minus 1, which is 15, the highest value you get. So that is why I subtracted 1. Okay, understood? Okay. So yeah, this is another question. Try it once. There are 2 more questions. Then after that, we'll end the discussion. Yeah. So what do you think will be the answer? Error, error. No, no. Why are showing error? because one is should have been and no, it is bitwise and okay. First y equal to 4 1. Yeah. User is correct. So let me explain actually. So yeah, it is not and actually and means logical and okay. Then this is bitwise and. So what happens is this. So if you see the expression carefully here, you have to again understand two things. One is the associativity rule. So how the multiple operators associate with each other, and one is the precedence rule. So here it is they are left associative. So basically you evaluate every expression from left to right, both of these operators. Okay, this one and this one. But now we have to understand what is the precedence actually. So precedence means what operator will be evaluated first. So this is the thing. That is the expression, overall expression, and this has the higher priority than this. This is a bitwise operation. So I'll explain what bitwise operation is. But before that, you have to see the precedence. So by precedence, this is the thing that will be evaluated first. So let me put a bracket here. This is why it is happening. This is happening because according to precedence, this is the case actually. This has higher precedence than and bitwise and. So these are the things that you have to remember. There is no other way actually. So most of the people forget. I also forget time to time, but you have to keep in touch to remember these things. What is the precedence of the various kind of operators? So 4 equal to 4. If you place the value of y, which is equal to 4 here, then it evaluates the whole expression evaluates to true. Correct? So true means 1. So now we have two things. One is x, one is 1. So what is x? X is basically 4. So now you have 4 and 1. So what is and actually? And means logical, not and. This is and basically. It means bitwise AND operation. So you have to convert 4 into binary and you also have to convert 1 into binary. So let's do that. So I think I only need 3 bits, right? So for that, let's create the table using 3 bits. So this is, let's say, 2 to the power 0, and this is 2 to the power 1, and this is 2 to the power 2. Okay. So what is 4? It is basically 1, 0, 0. And what is 1? It is 0, 0, 1. So if you do the bitwise AND operation, what is 0 and 1? It is 0. What is 0 and 0? It is 0. What is 0 and 1? It is 0. So the bitwise AND operation basically does the operation bitwise, and it actually uh, gives you the value. So 0 and 1 will be 0, 0 and 0 will be 0, 1 and 0 will be 0. So the whole value will be 0 only. If you convert this binary value to again an integer, to the power 0 plus to the power 0 into 0, to the power 1 into 0, to the power 2 into 0, which is basically 0. So printf statement will evaluate to 0. So 0 is the output actually. Okay. So this is how it is done. Yeah, 0. Yeah, it is 0. Ignore this. Ignore what? X into x and y equal to 4. Oh, I don't think it will work actually. You are assigning, yeah. You are assigning a value 4 to two, I mean, some bitwise and operation between two variables which are not even declared. I don't think it will work. Yeah. What if we do x and y equal to 4 and x? Yeah, so if you do x and y, then you have to evaluate the value x and y first, and 4 and x. What is the value of 4? It is, I think, is it 4, right? So 4 and x, what will it give you? I think 4 means non-zero, so it is 1. So 1 and 1, 1. So equal to x and y will be what? So the value of x will be 4, right? So 1, 0, 0, and y is also 1, 0, 0. So it will be 4 only. So 4 equal to 4, it will give you 1, I think. Okay, so for this question, it will be 1. So we'll evaluate to 1. But clarify it once. I mean, check it using, write it in C and see whatever is the output. So if it is, if you understand it, or should I run through it again, this problem? I don't have a compiler. Can you compile it and let me know? And works as bitwise operator, and works as AND operator. Correct, correct. Okay, so yeah, I have VS Code, but I only run Python inside it. I don't have C compiler. I have to do it in web then. Okay, in the meantime, if you don't have any questions regarding this particular question, then I think I can proceed. Yeah, so this is question number 19. Okay, so try to see it again. And there are two hints actually. So, oh, sorry, I again showing the same thing. So this is question number 20. See it. This is logical AND operation, as you can see here, and plus y is this part, to implement operator. Yeah, yeah, you can run 5. So try to solve it in the meantime. 6, 6. Okay. So there is one interesting thing actually here. So the concept is short circuit evaluation. So in C, what happens is that whenever it sees an logical AND operator like that, it sees what is the left hand side of it. What is the left hand side means X here, right? So it sees the values of X. If it is 0, then whatever is there in the right hand side, you need not evaluate it, because if the left hand side is 0, if right hand side contains 0 or 1, it will always be 0, because it is an AND operation. So what C compiler does is that it evaluates the left hand side, it sees the value of the left hand side if it is 0, and if there is a logical AND operation here, it doesn't do anything with the right hand side. Okay, so it is basically 0. It means the if statement doesn't get evaluated, then it goes to the next statement, which is basically y. but y is originally 5. And I said that this is short circuit evaluation. After the AND operation, there is nothing that get evaluated. So plus y will never get executed. So whatever is the value of y in the beginning, that will directly be printed here. So this printf statement will contain basically the value of 5. So yeah, okay. Yeah, everybody is saying 6, but it is actually 5. Only one guy has said 5. And did you run this program, this one, x and y equal to 4 and x? 6, somebody is typing. Okay, so if you have any query regarding this specific questions, ask me. Yeah, I think this is the last question. So I actually checked in the web. Is there a syntax error in the question? No, there is no syntax error actually. So if it is understandable, then yeah, I'll just discuss about that part because it was interesting to see what will happen to it. This part, okay. So let me clarify it. I just searched in the web. Actually, it is an interesting question actually. So if it is clear, then I'll proceed. Otherwise, I'll make it clear first. Okay. So just let me know if it is clear to you. If there is no question regarding this, then let me clarify this first actually. So he asked that what if this is the thing that is going on. Okay? So what is the question? Okay, this one actually. So here, what if this is the case? Okay. So the thing inside anything like that, if you encounter, you most likely will group them like this. So any normal human will group them like this, but right. So this and then this, right? So this is everybody's guess. And the interesting thing here is that uh, this is not the correct way. So if this is the way, then you just do x and y. So what is x? X is 4, y is 4. So just do the bitwise AND operation. So 1 0 0 and 1 0 0. So it is basically 1 0 0, which is equal to 4. So it will evaluate to 4 equal to 4 and x. So 4 and x is what? It is 4 and 4. Okay. So 4 and 4 is What is that? 4 and 4. It is true or false? Anybody? It is true. So 4 equal to 1. So is it true? It is basically not true. So the whole expression will give 0. Okay, so this was my previous guess, but I searched in the web and I got to know based on the operator precedence, it will be folded like this actually. So y equal to 4 will be given the first priority because equal to has the higher precedence than any other thing. And after that, logical AND comes actually. So the whole thing will be grouped like this. Okay. So this is the correct way of grouping. So this is the higher precedence than this, and this and has the lowest precedence. So now let's evaluate. 4 equal to 4 is correct. So it is 1. So now 1 x is 4, it is 1. So it will evaluate to 0. Correct. This will evaluate to 0, and 0 and x is basically 0 because there is 1 0 in the left hand side. So this evaluates also to 0, but I mean both evaluates to 0, but this is the correct way to do it. So always remember that whenever you encounter these three things, then this is the correct precedence order. So this has the highest precedence, and after that and comes, and after that and comes. Now let me put it in bracket because these are the operators here. Okay, so this is the rule. Yeah, so this is it from for today. If there are any questions, let me ask. Int main, there are no parameters here. Why? You can specify parameters to int main also, but I don't think it will compile actually. So there is no reason as such. Yeah, I run it on the compiler, it gives you 0 as output. Correct, correct. So both way it is 0 actually. So if I evaluate x and y first and then equal to 4 and x, then it is also 0. But that is not the correct way to do. The correct way to do is like this actually. So equal to has the higher precedence. It will be evaluated first. Then it will be x and y equal to 4, and then this logical AND at the last. Okay. So this is the precedence order. Remember that. Yeah. Yeah, this is from my side actually. Which is interesting question. Yeah, I answered actually, right? Int main, you are saying. I think you can specify some parameter to main function, but you don't compile. So yeah. So any other question? Otherwise, I'll stop. Okay, thanks. So I'll wait for another 1 minute, then I'll stop. Apart from passing random things to the main function, as far as I can remember, you can pass command line arguments. Okay, so there are some things in Python called argc and argv actually. So this is just if you, let's say you are compiling a Python program, Python something dot py, and then you can actually pose something actually, let's say 5, 6. So these kind of things will be passed to the main function in C also, I think. That you have to check. I forgot it actually. I think command line arguments can be passed. So you already knew the answer. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, something like that. Yes. Okay, if there are no questions, then I can stop it, I think. Thank you, everyone. Next session is actually on next week. Okay. Every week we'll have this session.